And now to some new developments tonight on the civil lawsuit accusing rappers Sean Diddy Combs and Jazy of. The accuser has now dropped the case.
Period. Okay, so last hour when we left off, you had asked me, did Tony Busby respond to Jazy?
Yes.
And he did. So he responded to it.
Here's the scoop that's got everyone buzzing. A lawsuit accusing music icons Jazy and Sean Diddy Combs of shocking behavior has just been dismissed, but not in the usual way. This dismissal came with prejudice, meaning it can't be brought back to court in its current form. So, what's behind this ruling? Is it just a matter of the allegations lacking evidence? Or are there bigger, more strategic factors at play? Let's break it down and dive into the drama, because this story is far from simple. First, let's rewind to where it all began. The lawsuit was filed by a Jane Doe, who claimed that in 2000, at the peak of Jazy and Combs' careers, she experienced something horrifying after the MTV Video Music Awards. She alleges she was taken to an after-party where she entered.
In a blistering statement, Jazy accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked."
But here's where things get complicated. Jazy, whose real name is Sean Carter, was quick to deny these allegations, not just calling them false, but claiming they were completely fabricated. He didn't just brush it off. He came out strong, labeling the lawsuit as a blackmail attempt and accusing the attorney behind it, Tony Busby, of orchestrating a calculated extortion scheme. Carter made it clear from the start that he wasn't about to settle or pay a dime to make it go away, and he stuck to his guns. Meanwhile, Sean Combs, already grappling with a mountain of legal issues, also denied the claims through his legal team. They argued that the accusations were part of a pattern of ground.
He, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement.
Yeah.
He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down.
The lawsuit against Jazy took a significant turn when Jane Doe's credibility began to falter. In a December interview, she admitted to errors in her recollection of events and even acknowledged the possibility of misidentifying certain individuals. That kind of admission is far from ideal when trying to persuade a court. This, combined with what Jay-Z's legal team described as a complete lack of concrete evidence, marked a major shift in the case. His lawyer, Alex Spiro, was direct in his response, calling the allegations false and praising Jazy for standing firm against baseless accusations. He never settled, never paid a single penny. He triumphed and cleared his name, Spiro stated. But for Jazy, this battle wasn't just about protecting his reputation. It was personal. The emotional toll on his family, especially his wife Beyoncé, and their 3 children, was something he could never overlook. The lawsuit's timing, coming just before his daughter Blue Ivy's big moment at the Lion King premiere, only fueled his resolve, believing it to be a calculated attempt.
So, civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and, we'll see what happens or if the DA
Jane
looks and
Doe's
investigates.
legal team, they voluntarily dismissed the case, but not just without prejudice, which would have allowed them to refile later. Instead, they dismissed it with prejudice, effectively shutting the door on any future legal action. That's a significant move because it signals that, as it stands, the case is completely dead. While the official reasons for this decision haven't been disclosed, speculation is rampant. Did they realize their case wasn't as strong as they initially believed? Or was there external pressure, someone or something, that convinced them to back down for good? Interestingly, rather than putting rumors to rest, the dismissal has only fueled further intrigue.
It's interesting because, obviously this civil suit was coming for a while.
Yep.
And there was some talk between Busby and Jay-Z's lawyers. I think both Busby and Jay-Z's lawyers are really alphas.
Then there's the case of Shan Combs. While Jay-Z is celebrating what he calls a victory, Combs finds himself in a much darker situation. He's facing over 40 lawsuits, many tied to allegations of misconduct spanning decades. On top of that, he's currently incarcerated, awaiting trial on charges that could potentially put him behind bars for life. His legal team has dismissed these lawsuits as nothing more than sensationalized attempts to grab headlines. But with accusations piling up, it's clear his legal battle is far from over. What's particularly striking?
A lot of times lawsuits are like playing poker. Like even when you feign, that you have strength, it could be that you have some weakness in your case. So Busby's never going to say that he doesn't have the evidence. I mean, Busby's always going to say he's got the evidence. He's always going to say, oh, we're going to look at multiple other people. We're going to do all this because he wants to put that fear into that individual.
Adding to the intrigue are whispers of potential new lawsuits. While this case against Jay-Z has been dismissed, some speculate that it may not be the last time his name is entangled in legal drama. Could other accusers step forward, emboldened by the media attention this case received? Or are there deeper, secrets yet to be uncovered? For now, it's all just rumors. But in the world of celebrity scandals, where there's smoke, there's often fire. And then there's Tony Busby, the high-profile attorney at the center of it all. Known for his aggressive tactics and headline-grabbing cases, Busby isn't exactly fading into the background. While he hasn't publicly...
So I anticipate that we're going to start filing lawsuits, and it may not be big names at first, but we have a long list of names, and you might imagine in situations like this.
I asked Jazy. His public statements following the dismissal leave no doubt that he feels vindicated. He has called this a victory, not just for himself, but for anyone who has ever been falsely accused. The system has failed, he said, referring to what he sees as a lack of accountability for those who file baseless claims. The courts must protect victims, of course, but with the same responsibility, they must also protect the innocent from being accused without a shred of evidence. Strong words from a man clearly determined to control the narrative. But here's the kicker. While this chapter may be closed for Jay-Z, the story is far from over. The dismissal of...
It's really much more of a loss for the legal team of Jay-Z and Diddy.
Why would you say that? Because the judge was kind of harsh to Jay-Z and Diddy in her response?
Yeah, this is sort of like, if a child asks you for something and you're trying to teach them a lesson, you say, no, not right now. Go be good for a little while, then come back and ask me.
So, what comes next? Could Jay-Z's apparent triumph mark the beginning of a scandal-free chapter? Or is this just the calm before another storm? And as for Shan Combs, is there any hope of redemption? Or is he destined to face the full consequences of years of alleged wrongdoing? For now, the answers remain unclear. But one thing is certain.
He's gone on to do incredible things, but he has a very specific style. And there's a lot of people who don't like that style. And Judge Torres is one of them. He's now twice kind of taken the reins and tried to take control of the narrative of cases by putting on sort of these preemptive press conferences. He did it with Mayor Adams, and he did it now with Jay-Z, where he goes to the press and essentially puts on a PowerPoint.
But hold on. Just when it seemed like the dust was finally settling, whispers about Jay-Z's alleged deal with the FBI have started spreading like wildfire. And let's be honest, this is the kind of juicy, behind-the-scenes drama that keeps people glued to their screens. So, what's the deal with this rumored arrangement? Could it really explain how Jay-Z emerged from this scandal with his reputation intact, while his longtime friend Shan Combs seems to be sinking deeper Into legal quicksand. Let's break it down. Jazy's swift and decisive victory in this lawsuit has left many people scratching their heads. Sure, the case against him had its flaws,